Hello, and thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be pouring the new Let's Resin Crystal Snake Mold. Now, I just ordered this a few days ago. It came in today, and I'm really excited about this. What's more exciting is when I opened the package, I found that there are actually two molds. For whatever reason, I was thinking there was just one. Now, the smaller of the two is a 1.7 fluid ounces, and then the larger is a 2.7 fluid ounces. Now, I will put a link to some of the products I use in the description box below. So if you're interested in purchasing these, check that link out. So for the smaller one, I think what I am going to do is I have made some little yellow. I'm going to make them the snake eyes. I'm going to use these yellow dots on both of the snakes, because just like the frog and the lizard, there's a spot to put an eye or eyes. And if you haven't seen those videos, I will link those in the description box as well as in my pinned comments below. So I'm going to put yellow for the eyes. And I think on the larger mold, I want to actually brush it with the Let's Resin Chameleon powder, and that's the Galaxy. I love this stuff. And then for the smaller mold, I kind of want to make it translucent. So I have an emerald green here that I want to use for this one, just because I want to see the what it looks like translucent. So what I need to do first is let me go ahead and use some UV to get those eyes put in place. So let me put my gloves on. And let me move that out of the way. And get my tool. So I have the UV here, and let's see if we can't get these eyes into place. Let me get a wipe here. They're tiny, so I may struggle a little bit. See if I can get just a little bit of the UV in there. I'm just going to drop that in there and see if I can't position it. Okay. And I will give you a peek see as soon as I'm done putting these in. So let me give it a cure. And this is I made them out of the Let's Resin glow in the dark pigment powder. That's the yellow. That's what I did for the eyes, because I couldn't figure out what color to do them. And I'm hoping after I unmold them, I'll be able to go in there and maybe paint some black on the eye to make it look more like a snake eye. I guess we'll see. Let me get underneath here. So yeah, my little snakes are going to have glow in the dark eyes. Let me just check it. All right, let's see if we can get the other one in. And I will show you once I get these in. I put a lot in there. Just drop that down in there and use the tool to get it into place. I am excited about these molds. Let me get it from the other side. And as always, I hope when I brush this that, and when I pour, that I don't end up with a set of floating eyes. Let me see if that's cured. All right, so kind of hard to see. Maybe you can see them better that way. I don't know. There's the first set, so let's go ahead and get that second set in. Just drop that in there because I don't want to UV my glove again. I think that's in the right spot. I hope it's in the right spot anyway. When I originally ordered these, I honestly thought it was just one mold. So opening the package today and finding two, I was like a kid at a candy store. I was so excited. One more time down here. All right, let me see if that's in there. And I hope it's in the right spot. It appears to be. All right, one more. And when I pour these, I'm actually going to pour them one at a time, simply because they are new molds and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get all the bubbles and so forth out. And I don't want to take a chance of my resin curing before I have both of them poured. So I will probably pour the larger one, this one first, and that's, I'm going to brush it with the Galaxy powder and then come back in and pour it with some epoxy resin with the black pigment paste in it. And then the other one, of course, is just going to be the somewhat translucent, the green. Get it from this side. And let me see if that's cured. All right, so I don't know if you can see it there. I hope the eyes are in the right spot. Maybe if I turn it that way, you can see it better. All right, let me put this up and start brushing on the, I'm going to set this one aside for now because I don't want to accidentally get any Galaxy powder in it. So let me get a brush here. And start brushing this. I'm going to be very careful around the eyes because I don't want to knock those things out. I just love this Galaxy powder. It's so pretty. Okay, I got around the eyes, so now I can get a little more aggressive. I want to make sure I get up the sides real well because I don't know if you can see all the detail in there. It is extremely detailed. I just want to make sure I get it up all the way up these sides. I really hope that I don't get a bunch of bubbles in there. I have to kind of worry about that too, I guess, with all these little divots, but the detail is gorgeous. A lot of brushing. But I just want to make sure that I get it really well. Then I'll kind of thump any additional powders out and start mixing some resin. I want to kind of look by the eyes again in the head just to make sure that I have this all the way up in there. And now by the tail, I don't know if you can see it kind of goes down in there. So that's definitely a spot I'm going to have to really be careful not to get bubbles down in there. So let me make sure I have all the sides and everything. And I'm going to push my brush back down in that tail. And then let me look at the head again. Okay, let me put this lid on, give this a thump. Oh, and thump it everywhere. And that's what we have so far. So I am going to mix up enough resin for this one. And this is the large one, so it's 2.7 fluid ounces. So I'll get the resin mixed and I'll be right back. See you in a minute. So I have the resin mixed up and I put a little bit of the black epoxy resin pigment paste in it. And I love this stuff because it only takes a little bit. So that stuff goes a long ways. Now, according to my calculations, the 2.7 ounces equals approximately 79.8 milliliters. So I mixed up 80, and I hope that's going to be enough to put a dome on it. Let me go ahead and set that down there and see if we can't slowly pour this. You know what? I think I'm going to pour it down my stick if I can. This is going to be, nope, I'm going to just pour it. I'm afraid if I try to pour it down the stick, I will end up getting it everywhere. I just want to pour. Goodness, I don't know. I never know if I mix enough or not. Let me stop there for a second and let it settle down. Definitely want to pinch that tail. Definitely want to make sure I pinch that tail real well. Give it some thumps. Let me clean that up. Clean that up. I sure do make messes. So I want to, hopefully it be bubble free. I don't want to take my tool in there because I don't want to scratch the galaxy powder. All right, I'm going to fill it up a little bit more and then pinch that tail again. Easy by the tail. I'm gonna let that settle down a bit. And I guess maybe this, hopefully this will be enough to dome it. I hope. If not, I'll be mixing some more. That looks like it's gonna work. I hope. I hope. I hope. Because this over here looks like it could use more. Y'all, I may have to mix just a little bit more. If so, what I will do is I will mix extra when I'm mixing for the other. Because, yeah, it looks like I'm going to need a little bit more in order for this to be domed. I say that, but there's still some in the cup. Every little drop counts. Maybe it will be enough. Huh. Oh, don't make a mess. I need every drop in the mold and not all over the place. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be enough. Let me give this tail another little pinch. I wonder if I can carefully take my tool down in there without making a huge mess. I just don't want any bubbles in that tail. Now I got to clean my mess. I get so messy sometimes. That does look pretty domed to me, but it does. So let me just scrape this last little bit out and put it by the tail for that stuff that I just messed up. Well, maybe that was enough. I never can tell. All right. Let me set this down. I'm going to clean this off a little bit. And I'm going to try to carefully move this guy over to here. And let him sit there. I'm going to put this one up here. I'm going to go ahead and get the resin mixed up for this. And I'll be right back. The resin mixed. And 1.7 ounces is approximately 50.3 milliliters. I went ahead and mixed 60. And as you can see, it's pretty translucent, which is what I want. And I am going to pour just a little bit down the whole body of the snake. And then, according to the instructions, it says, oh, that's getting warm, to use a tool to remove the bubbles. Now, I don't necessarily see any, but let's go ahead and get that tool in there real good anyway. And I'll take the tool back in there again here in just a minute. This resin's getting warm because it took a while to get the bubbles out of it. And I did mix extra, and I could always find a little mold to put the extra in. And I will bubble sit like I do. Let me get that down in the tail. All right, I'm going to pour some more. And now I think I will stop there for a second so I can pinch on the tail, hopefully. I'm going to take my tool down in there carefully. All right. Looks like it could use a little bit more, but I don't want to go crazy either. And yeah, I can use a little bit more. So maybe I did mix just enough. I'm splashing it everywhere. Let's see if I can get that to go down there. Y'all, I'm just making such a mess. Maybe I mixed just the right amount. I don't want to go over either. But it actually looks like there's a little more room right there. I want to make sure we're domed. Maybe I mixed just enough. All right, well, I'm going to scrape the last little bit out and hope it doesn't overflow. And I will, like I do, bubble sit. I think this one right here, I'm going to give it a little spray on top for any surface bubbles. Okay, well, I will bubble sit. Let me give this a spray. And then you know the drill. I will see you in 24 hours. Whoops. See you in 24 hours for the unmolding. Let me give that a cover, and I'll see you shortly. It is time for the unmolding. I'm going to go ahead and start with the little clear green snake. I think I want to do the tail last. I don't know. I've never unmolded this, so we'll see. I am concerned about the eyes. I will probably need to paint something on them, or maybe try to use some black UV or something to make them look like something besides just yellow dots. See if I can get this out carefully. I want to be real careful by the end there because I don't want to break the snake's tail. Okay, let's see how hard or easy it's going to be to get this out. Oh, it came right out. Oh, wow, you guys, look. I am going to go in. I don't know if it's going to be paint or UV. I need to do something with the eyes. But man, look at the details on that. Wow. All right, now I'm really excited to unmold this one. Man, that's cool. Let's look at the tip here. It almost looks like maybe the piece of the tip broke off. But there's nothing in there. Maybe that's the way the tip is. We'll find out. Let's do this one. Oh, it looks like I have a Humpty Do or two to cut off, but that's not a big deal. As long as you do it when it's still not too cured. I'm excited to see this one now after seeing how that one came out. I want to try and be careful. There's that much. All right, I'm getting right down to the tail here. I want to be very careful. Carefully try and get that out of there. So on this one, either I didn't get it all the way back into the mold or something, because I mean I have some Humpty Doos here, but as you can see here, the tail's complete. Let's see what this looks like. Oh man, oh man. Check it out, y'all. And that's with the Galaxy Mica. Boy, is that cool. So yeah, note to self, make sure you get it all the way in the tip. Let me try to do something with these eyes and hope I don't mess them up. I may just practice on this one. I don't know. Let me see what I can do, and I will be right back. I want to show you what I did. On this one, I used black UV, and I just put a little layer on, cured it, put a layer on, cured it. Not a big fan of how that turned out, but it's better than just two yellow dots. On this one, I actually used just an acrylic paint pen, and it looks better. It could be neater than what it is, but it looks better. So y'all, I am really thrilled. Now looks like I do need to do a little trimming right here. But I am thrilled how those came out. Definitely learned. Make sure the little end of the tail is completely filled in. But overall, I like the way they turned out. So here are the two resin snakes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I want to thank you for watching. Please do consider hitting the like, subscribe, and share buttons. And I will see you next time. Thanks again.